We had the opportunity to investigate Robert the Doll firsthand at the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, giving us the chance to see beyond the viral images and warnings. Before sharing what we experienced during our own investigation, it's important to understand the full context of Robert's story, how he came into the Otto family, how the legends formed, and what kinds of reports have been sent to the museum over the decades. We were incredibly fortunate to investigate Robert alongside David Sloan, who cares for the spirits within Robert and has been working with and researching him for 30 years. David shared with us aspects of Robert's history that rarely make the headlines, since people often focus on the horror stories. Thanks to David and Robert himself, we hope to show you a side of Robert the Doll that you may not be aware of. Inside his climate-controlled case sits Robert in his sailor suit, clutching his stuffed animal, Leo the lion, with the steady gaze that has captivated and sometimes frightened visitors for generations. While many people now refer to Robert as America's most haunted doll, David prefers to call him America's most misunderstood doll. Prior to being on display at the museum, he was not referred to as an evil doll. In fact, he was known as the Enchanted Doll, and was well loved and respected by those who cared for him. To get a full picture, we need to go back to the beginning. Robert originally belonged to Robert Eugene Otto. As a child, he received the doll as a gift from his parents and gave it his own first name, Robert. To avoid confusion, the boy became known as Gene, a name he used throughout his life. From the very beginning, the doll became more than just a toy. Relatives and neighbors recalled Gene treating Robert as a companion, giving him a seat at the table, speaking to him, and even blaming the doll for mischief, often saying Robert did it when asked what happened. Over time, unusual events in the Otto home, footsteps when no one was present, objects moving, or sounds of laughter were attributed to Robert. Whether these occurrences were pranks, coincidence, or something else entirely, they became the foundation for the legend that followed him for decades. Robert was with Gene for approximately 70 years. During that time, neighbors and passerbys often reported seeing Robert in the window of the Otto home, sitting upright and dressed in his sailor suit as if quietly observing the world outside. After Gene's passing, Robert continued to have a life of his own. A woman by the name of Myrtle Reuter purchased the Otto home on Eaton Street in 1974. She became Robert's companion and cared for him, keeping him when she moved to Von Pfister Street 6 years later. Myrtle often claimed that the doll moved around her house on his own and was haunted. One particularly notable encounter reportedly occurred when Myrtle said that Robert locked her in a room, an experience that absolutely terrified her. It was that experience that led her to donate Robert to the Fort East Martello Museum, ensuring his preservation as a part of Key West history. However, Robert was not immediately displayed by the museum. For some time, he remained in the museum's back room. The museum at the time had little interest in the paranormal and did not prioritize exhibiting the doll. It was David Sloan, who had known about Robert, who helped change that after visiting with him. David began sharing Robert's story on his ghost tours in Key West, encouraging visitors to call the museum and request that Robert be put on display. Through this public interest, Robert gradually became a central feature of the museum, transitioning from a backroom artifact to a well-known figure in paranormal tourism. Once Robert reached public display, his reputation quickly spread. Visitors began sending letters reporting negative experiences, car troubles, sudden illness, injuries, broken electronics, divorces, job setbacks, or other misfortunes after they disrespected the doll. Many asked for forgiveness, some included gifts, and a few begged the museum to relay their apologies. Some of these claims reached celebrities as well. Ozzy Osbourne believed he had been cursed by Robert after filming an episode of Ozzy and Jack's World Detour in 2017. Following what he described as a year of health struggles and personal misfortune after disrespecting the doll, he publicly linked his year of hell to Robert. These letters and stories are tangible examples of how powerful and enduring the doll's reputation has become. David shared that the idea that you must ask Robert for permission before taking photos is actually a myth. While Robert does seem to have adverse reactions when he is disrespected, such as when people speak to him rudely, flip him off, or otherwise act with hostility, the photo curse story does not hold up. This myth actually originated in Robert's early days at the museum, when visitors' cameras would sometimes malfunction or batteries would die while interacting with him. Over time, these were exaggerated and circulated as warnings, giving rise to the enduring belief that photographing Robert without permission could bring misfortune. For a long time, there was also a rumor that Robert had been handmade and cursed by a servant practicing folk magic or voodoo in order to punish the Otto family. This dramatic story was widely repeated because it provided motive and intrigue, giving the doll a sinister origin. In recent years, however, David's research has traced Robert's origin to Steiff, a German doll manufacturer. Evidence shows that Robert was commercially produced and given to Jean by his parents as a gift. While this does not negate the reported experiences, it clarifies Robert's provenance and removes the revenge narrative from the historical record. Alongside these negative reports, David also highlighted a large volume of positive letters. Visitors actually write to thank Robert for safe travels, good luck, opportunities, or comfort during difficult times. These letters rarely circulate online, but they do exist in the same archive, showing that Robert's impact is not exclusively fearful or threatening. While his letters are no longer publicly displayed on the walls around his exhibit, he now has a chalkboard, and we noticed that there were dozens of positive notes to Robert there for all to see. David described Robert as acting almost like a mirror for the energy of the person interacting with him. He explained that it's not that Robert is actively cursing anyone. Rather, he reflects the intentions, respect, or disrespect that visitors bring to him. In this way, Robert actually serves as a lesson. People who approach anything in life with disregard or malice often face the natural consequences of their actions. He delivers the consequences of people's own morals and choices, offering a kind of feedback on their journey, rather than targeting anyone with harm for its own sake. Understanding this backstory, Jean naming the doll after himself, the household stories, Myrtle Reuter's caretaking and dramatic encounter, David Sloan's efforts to bring Robert to the public, the letters of apology and gratitude, celebrity examples, his original reputation as an enchanted doll, and the clarification of his origin gives crucial context for our investigation. It explains why visitors approach with expectation, fear, curiosity, or hope, and why their experiences can vary so widely. Only with that full picture could we responsibly explore Robert during our own investigation, observing both the legend and the reality that surrounds him. I first read Robert's story 18 years ago when I was in middle school, and I've been drawn to him and reading about him ever since. One piece that always stood out to me was that Robert was loved, cherished, and cared for so many years before coming to the museum, and those stories never portrayed him as the evil doll that he's often seen as today. While the claims of negative interactions are very real, I always knew there had to be another side, one that allowed him to live alongside people successfully for so long. This has been my dream investigation for as long as I can remember, and even with all of the research that I've done over the years, what we experienced with Robert himself was beyond anything I could have expected. Let's get started. The physical sensations caused by Robert are difficult to capture on video, but they were a striking part of our visit and very important to note. Before beginning our direct investigation, David brought us in to stop by and say hi to him right when we got off the airplane. The energy in the room made me feel shaky, buzzing, and almost hyper, while Mitchell had a headache that vanished pretty much instantly as we entered. The impression we all got was that Robert was genuinely excited, and we even saw his facial expression change to reflect that, which completely surprised us. David had given him a heads up that we would be coming, so he was prepared for our visit. I brought my own haunted dolls to interact with him, and when I unzipped my backpack to take Amika out, the energy in the room shifted abruptly into almost a panic-like state. Rather than reacting negatively, I very calmly explained who she was and why she was there, and that she wasn't there to cause any harm and was there to make friends with him, and once again, that happy, lively feeling returned to the space immediately. It was fascinating to see how quickly the energy could shift with fear or confusion. The rest of our visit went wonderfully, but once we got into the car, I began to feel a sudden sense of physical panic, as if Robert wasn't ready for us to leave yet. It really did feel like he was following us and was still in the space with us in the car. When I said out loud that we understood the expectation was to communicate and work with him like David had prepared him for, and that we would be returning later that night to do that, a sense of ease settled over me again, and I felt like he kind of backed off. It was then that I really saw that experience firsthand that people describe, where he really does leave the museum with you, and you can continue to experience the effects long after you're gone. Hi, Robert. It's nice to meet you. How are you doing today? Can you give us the name of the spirit we're talking to right now? Well, it's very nice to meet you. We appreciate you letting us come and talk to you and hang out with you earlier too. That was awesome. I brought some new friends for you to meet too. What did you think of them? Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. What's your favorite part of being at the museum?
We heard from the tour guide today that a lot of people like to write you letters.
What do you think of the letters people send you?
We also heard that sometimes people write you letters if they did things that were mean to you. I'm sorry that people do that. It's not very nice of them. Well, we want to hang out with you. We're really excited to get to know you.
Yeah, we're looking to make friends.
And I will
That's
say,
more of our vibe.
and I love your lion. Also, we were on the tour earlier. The tour guide mentioned someone by the name of Ozzy Osbourne. Do you remember?
And you were setting off my meter every time he said Ozzy Osbourne. What's the deal with Ozzy?
Did Ozzy say something mean to you?
Yeah, that wasn't very nice of him.
I'm sorry that happened.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, Robert.
So, one of our spirits told us that we should bring you French fries. Have you ever had French fries before? How would you feel if we brought you some French fries?
No.
He said no.
Not interested in French fries? That's okay. They're
That's
meant for
okay.
everybody. Isabel just really wanted to know if you like them because she likes them.
Exactly.
What's a food you like better than French fries?
Did you have pizza?
I did. Yeah, I heard that. Did you say pizza?
Yeah.
So fast.
I love pizza too. That's a good choice.
Now, the other thing everyone always tells us to get here at Key West is key lime pie. Do you like key lime pie?
Stop. You're probably sick of hearing about pie about living.
You done
here.
talking about food?
Well, let's talk more about you.
What has it been like being friends with David? He's a really nice guy.
And I think one of your previous owners was named Gene. I'm sure you enjoyed spending a lot of time with him too.
The attic room is really beautiful. Did you like it up there?
Alright, Robert, we're going to give you a little bit of a break to relax, and then we'll talk to you again in a different way with the headphones, if that's okay with you, on the regular spirit box. Is that okay? Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you talking to us. This is awesome.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Bye-bye. Robert, have you liked getting to know our new friends we brought? Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that.
We're so happy you let us hang out with you, Robert.
Are we still chatting with the same spirit we talked to earlier? Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Are you happy to see that David's here? Oh yeah, they're gone. Well, now he's gone. Do you like when the people ask to take photos with you? Maybe. I'm in.
Alright, so during this spirit box session, we would like to speak to Robert, please.
More or less.
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, formally.
Why?
Well, because... Why you? We came a really long...
Interesting?
Yeah, you are very interesting. We came a really long way to meet you.
Mitch.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Were you talking to me a little bit in my head earlier?
Oh my god.
What?
He is the boss.
Who is the boss?
David
David?
is here.
I know, he's over there. Do you have anything you want to say to him?
He's here.
I know.
David.
Yeah. What do you want to say to him?
Something was just said in another language that I did not understand. In a different voice. Or in another language again.
Unfortunately, Taylor only speaks English. So it'll be a little tough if you start to speak other languages. She won't unfortunately get it.
I'm crazy.
You're crazy. Crazy awesome.
I don't think you have a problem.
Oh.
Can you tell
Well-
me your name, please?
What was that? Can you say that again? I missed it. It is generally Robert
Okay.
to you.
It is. Now, I think our understanding is there's a couple of spirits that are kind of around Robert. Is that correct?
Where?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
People do say it.
Yeah. Do you go by a name that's other than Robert?
I swear. It's the same word as before that I heard and I missed. It's like Alani? Alani? No.
No, not Alani.
I can't get it. Lainey?
Lainey? Is it Lainey?
Yeah.
Yeah? And how old are you, Lainey?
I'm 5.
5? You know, we have a
That's
lot.
right.
We have a lot of spirits at our house that are around 5.
Sometimes. There's like something rolling up on me.
Are we still speaking to Lainey?
This is like switching. There's like somebody standing over me.
Who are we speaking to now?
I don't know.
Okay. Is this still Robert?
Yes.
Okay. Is this still Lainey?
It's getting really dark, like in my eyes.
Can you tell me what's going on?
We're both here.
Okay. Who is the other spirit that's here, besides you, Lainey?
It's like a squeaky, it was like a really squeaky, high-pitched sound.
Now, I want to make it very clear that we're here to be friends. We do not want to cause any harm. We want to be very nice.
Okay.
Because sometimes I know there are some spirits that like to protect you. Is that correct?
Can't say it.
Oh, okay. Does the other spirit that's here have a name?
A slogan?
A slogan? What's the slogan?
It's touching my back. The final one?
The final one? Can we keep talking to Lainey, please?
Right here, Mitchell.
Oh, great.
My hair is getting touched. I'm like getting touched all over the place.
Are you the one that's touching Taylor?
Might have.
That's okay. You know, I really like your line.
It worked out well.
Yeah, I think he just looks so happy.
Happy.
I think your lion's name is Leo. Is that correct?
Yep.
Oh, I love Leo. Now we have some of our spirits here. Have you met some of them?
Oh, yes.
Were they nice to you?
Watching me.
I think they just want to check you out. Some of them like to protect us, just like you have some spirits that protect you.
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy. I know. Sometimes he can be a little intimidating, but he's actually really nice.
Yes.
Yes. Was he nice to you?
That was like the cutest thing I've ever heard. It was like this whisper, like very quiet whisper, yes.
Okay, good.
It was so cute.
Good. Is there anything you want to tell us?
A memory?
I would love to know a memory.
I found out big sister? A memory.
You found out Big Sister.
Me.
Oh, you're a big sister. That must have been very exciting.
I know.
Did you have a little brother or a little sister?
Screamed like, whatever.
Can you tell me their name?
It's like Inez.
Inez?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool name. Now, a lot of people come to visit you, and some people are a little scared of Robert. I don't think they should be. What do you think?
On some day.
On someday. Yeah. Now, a lot of people write you letters.
Final one.
Oh, final one. Do you like when people write you letters?
Yes.
Good. Also, I think some people do mean things to you, and that's not very nice. But sometimes stuff happens to them after they leave. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah.
What happens?
They rest. From being mean.
Ah, I see.
Good night.
Oh.
Don't do it.
You're right. I'm sorry people do that. That's not very nice. Do you like when people write on your chalkboard?
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we all wrote on it, yeah.
Yeah, we wrote a nice little message. I hope you like it.
500.
500?
Is that how much money is in that box?
Maybe.
It could be.
Are there a lot of other spirits that are in the fort here?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Possibly.
possibly. I think you're the coolest, though. I like talking to you.
Laughed.
I think we were talking about food earlier. I think you said pizza. How do you feel about pizza?
Yum.
Yum. I agree. It's also pretty nice. You're near the water.
Great job.
Oh, yes. You're near the water here. Do you like looking out at the water sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty out there. You can see some of the ships pass. You can look at the stars.
Yay.
Yay, I agree.
Adios, sweetheart.
Was that a goodbye?
I don't know. I think he was saying goodbye to like the ships.
Maybe.
Maybe she was saying goodbye to the ships.
There's nothing.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about?
It's done.
That was a goodbye. That was a very
No.
I
important
got,
goodbye.
I got CL. It's done. It's done, idiot.
Oh, that was.
And I was like, dang it.
What did she say?
CL.
Adios,
CL.
sweetheart.
Adios, sweetheart.
CL goes, it's done, idiot. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Did anyone else's energy get just like zapped? I couldn't keep my eyes open.
How did it go?
You were like yawning repeatedly.
Yeah, no, like all my. Like,
I was like full of energy. I
I was
felt
okay.
great in there. I felt awesome
now
in
my
there.
energy's like coming back a little bit.
I wonder if they were drawing off your energy to talk.
Yeah.
I was playing on my phone.
That was like, oh, yeah, you were
Yes.
playing. You were using their energy to talk?
That was
Well,
so.
she took all of mine.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
remember
It was like David's here. He's the boss.
So check this out. I got.
Following the session, David shared something unexpected. During the Estes Method, he said that with his own eyes, he could see a visible glow or aura surrounding Robert, something he had never witnessed before in all of his years of working with him. The timing stood out as it occurred specifically during active communication. Recognizing how unusual this was, he immediately took out his camera and was able to capture this glow on film. One other thing that was interesting is that typically when I'm in an Estes Method session with a spirit, I get incredibly drained. I'm exhausted after and need to rest for quite a while after I come out. In this experience, however, I had the complete opposite reaction. I actually came out energized, hyper, excited, while the people watching were drained, which was very much the opposite of our typical Estes Method experience. It was almost as though this glow was the extra energy he had pulled off of people in the room who were watching the session, and the energy that I felt was energy that was dispersed to me in order to keep the conversation going. Now we get to the tricky part. Who or what is Robert, and why does he seem capable of things most haunted dolls simply cannot do? First, let's discuss the long-standing existing theories that are out there. One prevailing theory is that the spirit of a little girl inhabits him. What makes this complex is this child spirit has never given their name before. Based on our investigation, I would agree with that conclusion as well, though I do believe and agree with the additional theories that there is more to it than just the little girl's presence. We were told the age of 5, and David shared afterward that age 5 is the consistent number that they've received from her as well. The theory that many people have suggested is that the little girl spirit may be the daughter of Emeline Abbott, the Otto family's servant. Historical records show that the 1900 census lists Emeline as having no children, while the 1910 census notes that she had given birth to one child, though no children were living at that time. Beyond this, there is no information regarding the child's identity, fate, or even gender. David refers to the child spirit as Abby, a nod to the family's last name, Abbott. While it's possible that Emeline may have sought her employer, the Otto family's help during the pregnancy or in case of complications, so her child spirit could have crossed paths with the vessel in the Otto home, the historical record leaves these details unknown. Another theory comes from Cindy Kaza, a psychic who worked with David Sloan on the Robert the Doll shock documentary for Discovery. Cindy explained that she felt the little girl died and a voodoo practitioner was sought out. She also suggested that it's not just multiple spirits inhabiting Robert, but that this process may have opened a portal inside the doll itself, allowing for many spirits to reside within him. This theory would make sense, given the fact that so many people can go to the museum and simultaneously be followed home and affected by Robert after they leave. This behavior would simply not be possible for a single spirit to do. The one detail that doesn't fully align with this theory about Emeline's child comes from Lainey, who we spoke to. She shared a vivid memory of becoming an older sister. She even provided a name for her sibling, suggesting a lived experience with a younger sister. This contrasts with historical records, which only document that Emeline had one child, who had passed away, and no living children at the time. This discrepancy raises questions about whether the child spirit we connected with is actually Emeline's child, or if another spirit, possibly drawn through the portal, is present within Robert instead. Given the portal theory, this doesn't mean the spirit of Emeline's child isn't present. It may simply be that she isn't the one who came through on the day that we were there. It's possible that another spirit, the spirit of a different child altogether, came through during our investigation. While Key West record keeping has been inconsistent due to fires and hurricanes that destroyed or damaged local archives, I reviewed cemetery records to search for potential leads on who Lainey may have been. Lainey is typically a nickname for Elaine, Elena, Helene, or Helena, so I searched for all of those variations in the records. Across all of Key West's documented history, I only found one individual who fit the criteria, Elena Rodriguez, born in 1898 and died in 1903 at the age of 5. She is buried in Key West Cemetery. What makes this particularly intriguing is that there are no documented relatives for Elena in either the cemetery records or census data, leaving her family connections completely unknown. This lack of information makes it difficult to confirm whether she was the spirit we communicated with, especially since Lainey specifically mentioned having a sister named Inez during the spirit box session. While Elena Rodriguez's name, age, and timeline all align and are particularly compelling given that she appears to be the only possible match, the absence of any record or confirmation of her sister's name leaves a gap that makes full certainty impossible for me. While I do believe there is a child spirit present based on previous reports and our own experience, Robert's level of activity, unpredictability, ability to follow people, and capacity to cause significant harm to those who disrespect him just don't line up with what we would expect from a typical child spirit inhabiting a vessel on their own. To me, this behavior indicates a non-human presence of some kind in addition to the little girl. David also shared that in addition to a child in his experience, it seems that there are at least 2 primary elemental or guardian type spirits within Robert. David believes these non-human guardians are particularly attentive when visitors or museum goers show disrespect toward the little girl. When someone disregards her presence, fails to treat her with care, or behaves rudely in the museum, the guardians are said to step in and react, often through what many refer to as Robert's curse. This protective dynamic suggests that their primary role is to shield the child's spirit from harm, maintain her energetic boundaries, and enforce respect, which helps explain some of the seemingly purposeful defensive behaviors that Robert exhibits. This theory does make a lot of sense to me. Additionally, David's recent research traced the materials in Robert's vessel back to the Black Forest region of Germany. This led him to investigate non-human spirits associated with that area, and one in particular stood out: kobolds. In German folklore, kobolds are household or elemental spirits that fall under the fae umbrella that can act as protectors, tricksters, or even malicious agents depending on how they are treated. They are known to manipulate objects, follow or observe people, and respond to disrespect with pranks or harm. Some kobolds were believed to guard specific materials or spaces, which aligns with Robert's defensive behavior. Their mischievous yet purposeful behavior, sometimes helpful, sometimes dangerous, mirrors Robert's unpredictability. This would also explain why some people have a great experience with Robert, while others experience tragedy after their visit. This theory offers a compelling explanation for Robert's complex abilities, suggesting his vessel may be home to a combination of both human and non-human spirits, or that the portal within him allows for multiple entities with different natures to coexist and interact. This raises additional questions. If there is a kobold presence, why would these kobolds be so loyal to this specific little girl? Where did they come from, and what is it about her that draws them? Were they always present when Robert lived with Jean, or did they show up later at the museum to protect her? Kobolds in folklore are often tied to particular places, objects, or people, and their loyalty is usually earned or bound by circumstance. In Robert's case, the little girl's energy, personality, or unresolved emotions could have acted as an anchor, drawing them in. Alternatively, the portal itself may have created a focal point of energy that attracted the kobolds, meaning they may have been responding more to the doll and its energetic space than to the child alone. Their connection to Robert might therefore be a combination of protection, attachment, and opportunity. The girl, the doll, and the portal together create a space where the kobolds choose to inhabit and act. This framework helps explain why Robert displays such unusual intelligence, independence, and occasional malevolence beyond what would be expected from a typical child spirit alone. Of all the possibilities, the theory involving fae or non-human spirit involvement, in addition to the child spirit, is the most compelling to me. The behavior I personally observed during my interactions with Robert closely paralleled prior experiences I have had with the fae. There was a distinct sense of unsettled tension when a previously agreed upon expectation was not met, as though an invisible contract had been disrupted. At one point, the word boss was used toward David, which stood out to me because that is a direct phrase one of my own fae regularly uses to describe me. The moral grayness of the interactions also felt very familiar, functioning less like good versus evil and more like an exchange system based on respect, reciprocity, and consequence. Those parallels to my prior fairy experiences are very difficult for me to ignore. One additional theory of my own I would like to throw into the ring is the possibility of egregore involvement in addition to the other spirits present. An egregore is a thought form or collective energetic entity that is created and sustained by concentrated belief, emotion, and attention from a group of people or even a single person with a strong belief. Over time, repeated focus and shared narrative can give this energetic construct a kind of autonomy, allowing it to influence experiences in ways that feel intelligent or intentional. These concentrated thought forms can eventually take on an entire life of their own, operating independently in ways that very closely resemble a spirit. In Robert's case, an egregore could have formed either as a protective mechanism generated by the child's spirit after being placed on public display, or through decades of intense emotional investment from museum visitors who approach with fear, fascination, and expectation. With thousands of people projecting stories, anxiety, reverence, or even apologies onto him, that accumulated energy alone could have easily shaped something very powerful. If so, some of Robert's most dramatic activity may not stem from a single spirit at all, but from a collective creation fueled by the attention itself. This could also help explain why Robert's behavior appeared to shift so noticeably after being placed on display at the museum. Once he became the focus of constant attention, fear, curiosity, and storytelling, the sheer volume of emotional energy directed at him may have strengthened or even created an egregore presence. In that environment, every reaction feeds the phenomenon, potentially amplifying activity in ways that would not have occurred in private settings. In the end, there is no clean answer waiting at the center of this story. Each theory carries weight, yet each leaves space for doubt. A child spirit, elemental guardians, kobold folklore, portal dynamics, egregore creation, or some layered combination of all of the above could be at play here. The history is fragmented, the records incomplete, and the experiences deeply personal. What feels clear, though, is that Robert is not simple. Whatever inhabits him is responsive, intelligent, and shaped by interaction. Perhaps the most honest conclusion is not choosing a single explanation, but acknowledging that some phenomena resist being placed neatly into just one category. Sometimes the most fascinating and powerful experiences we encounter simply exist beyond the limits of human explanation. We can research, theorize, compare folklore, analyze records, and still come up short. And maybe one of these possibilities, a combination of them, or none of them at all. There's a certain humility in admitting that not everything fits inside a framework that we recognize. Some phenomena are less about certainty and more about mystery, reminding us that our understanding of the unseen world is still very much unfolding. What I'd like to leave with is one of David Sloan's most striking observations. Robert acts as a mirror of the energy of the person that he's interacting with. He is not purely negative or purely positive. He reflects the intentions, emotions, and moral landscape of those around him. In that way, working with Robert becomes less about who or what he is, and more about the encounter, the exchange, and the way our own energy can be revealed through interactions with him. Working with Robert was truly a dream come true, and at the same time, one of my greatest challenges, not because the investigation itself was difficult, but because my desire to understand may never fully be satisfied. I went into this experience believing that direct interaction would bring clarity for me, that proximity would equal answers. Instead, it expanded the mystery even further. Every response opened another layer. Every insight revealed another unknown. I thought working with Robert would resolve questions that I have carried for years, but in truth, it left me with even more than I started with. Robert is the kind of spirit I could work with again and again and again, and I suspect I would leave each time feeling exactly the same way, thoughtful, curious, and still searching. Not frustrated, not disappointed, just aware that I brushed up against something very layered and complex. There is a depth to him that could never be tackled in just one investigation. It feels like something you could revisit for a lifetime, knowing that you will never reach the bottom, yet still grateful for what you uncover along the way. I'm deeply grateful to Robert for working with me and, in my experience, showing so much kindness. Whatever he is, however he functions, the interactions that I had felt very intentional and measured. I felt at home investigating Robert in a way that I've only felt with the spirits in my own house. I felt like he really saw me and my intentions for what they were, and I'm so appreciative of that. And I'm equally grateful to David, who truly gave me the experience of a lifetime. His dedication to uncovering the true history of Robert the Doll, his research, sharing that knowledge with us, and his willingness to let me engage in a different communication-focused way changed me as an investigator for the better. It was not just an investigation. It was education, perspective, and access that I will always value and take with me going forward. And I will leave you with this question. After everything you've seen, who or what do you think Robert is?